Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to learn more about CSS selectors. We have already learned that we cannot apply different styles to the same tag while using internal CSS. Today, we are going to learn how to do exactly that. So, as we have discussed already, we can write CSS by using somewhat this syntax. We write the name of the tag followed by curly brackets, and then inside the curly brackets, we can put our properties. As an example, we can tell the CSS to color our H1 gray, and then we follow it up with a semicolon. We are now going to dig further into that syntax. This first part, the tag name, it's called selector. In CSS, we always put our selector before the curly brackets. It's followed by our curly brackets. It's then followed by our properties. We can put any properties like color or margin or background color or any other property simply by entering its name, colon, value, and then semicolon. There are several different types of selectors in CSS. One of them, an example that we have learned already, are tag selectors. And as of this, they are used to select a specific tag, like applying similar styling to all H1 tags on the document. However, there are several other types of selectors, and we are going to learn two of them today, those being ID selectors and class selectors. First of all, ID selectors are used when we want to target a specific element with a style. Let's say that I have two different divs, div element 1, div element 2. And let's consider that I want to give the first one the color of red and the second one the color green. Now I cannot use tag selectors, since if I do div and then color red, this is going to apply on both of our divs. Seriously? Well, anyway, this is going to apply on both of our divs and it's going to color both of them red. Or we can color both of them green by changing it to green, but we cannot apply different styling to both of them. ID selectors are used by adding the ID attribute to one of them. I am going to go there, ID equals to text dash red, and now we can simply tell CSS to style the text red ID with red color. We can do this in CSS by first adding the hash character, hash over 3. Then we write our ID, which is text dash red. No need to write the tag name, we simply write our ID. We then put an space, curly brackets, and we can apply our styling just like before. If we want to color this one green, we are going to add ID equals to text dash green. Let's go back to CSS, and I would need to put hash text dash green, and inside the curly brackets I am going to put color green. It's as simple as that. Let's try that out in practice as well. Let's open VS Code, and I am going to create a new file and name it id.html. id.html. Let's remove all this. We are going to generate the base structure, name that ID selectors, and I am going to add a p tag and call it color me red. And now we are ready to go live. Okay, there we go. id.html, and we have our p tag. Now we need to apply an ID selector to it, but first we must add an ID attribute. So let's add ID equals to text dash red, and now I need to add the style tag. Oh my god. Let me turn off this auto completion. Okay, so hopefully that does it. Let's continue. We are going to add the style tag here. To select this element, we need to type hash text dash red and curly brackets. Now we can add a red color. Save. Do I need to refresh? Okay, I need to go live once more. And there we go. Now let's try another. I'm going to add another P and name it color me blue. This is added. Now we are going to add our ID attribute text dash blue. Let's go back to CSS hash text dash blue, color blue, save. Okay, what did we do wrong? Oh, oops. And there we go. Both of our paragraphs are colored correctly. Let's open VS Code. And I'm going to create a new file and name it id.html. id.html. Let's remove all this. We are going to generate the base structure, name that id selectors, and I'm going to add a p tag and call it color me red. And now we are ready to go live. Okay, there we go. id.html, and we have our p tag. Now we need to apply an ID selector to it, but first we must add an ID attribute. So let's add ID equals to text dash red, and now I need to add the style tag. Oh my god. Let me turn off this auto completion. Okay, so hopefully that does it. Let's continue. We are going to add the style tag here. To select this element, we need to type hash text dash red and curly brackets. Now we can add a red color. Save. Do I need to refresh? Okay, I need to go live once more. And there we go. Now let's try another. I'm going to add another P and name it color me blue. This is added. Now we are going to add our ID attribute text dash blue. Let's go back to CSS hash text dash blue, color blue, save. Okay, what did we do wrong? Oh, oops. And there we go. Both of our paragraphs are colored correctly. Now those are ID selectors. All we need to do is to add the ID attribute, and then we can target them in CSS and apply any specific styling that we want. We also have another kind of selectors called class selectors. And basically the logic is very simple. Class selectors are used when we want to apply the same style to different elements. As an example, we might have 5 different elements and we want to color all of them blue. In that case, we can use class selectors. ID selectors are used to apply the same styling to a specific element. Sorry, not same styling, to apply a different styling to a specific element. When we want to apply a different styling to each element, we use ID selectors. And when we want to make a reusable selector that we can use for any kind of element, as an example, a selector that colors any element blue, we use class selectors. The logic behind class selectors is very simple as well. All we need to do is, let's consider that we have two divs, color me blue, and let's say that we have a paragraph, not a div, color me blue as well. And we want to color both of them blue. In that case, we cannot use ID selectors because there are two different elements. We cannot give the same ID to different elements. And we also cannot use text selectors because those are different texts. However, we can use class selectors. And the method to use class selectors is that we add the class attribute class equals to double quotation marks, and we can add as many classes as we want. For example, we can have a blue color class and then we can have a red background color class, and it's going to apply both of them and give it a blue color and a red background. Similarly, we can go to it as well, class equals to, and we can simply give it the text blue class. Now in CSS, we are going to use the dot to specify that we are using the class selector. Then we need to type the name of the class, text-blue, and we are going to color all of the elements with this class blue, and it's going to color both of them blue. As the div has got text blue class and the p has got text blue class as well. Now let's define another class, dot bg dash red background color red, and this one is going to apply only on the div because bg red is used on the div only. Let's try that out as well. I am going to go back to VS Code, create a new file and name it class.html. We are going to generate our code here. Class selectors. Let's take the same example. I am going to add a div blue text red background. We have discussed this twice already, but all it does is it renders a longer dash. Our dash is slightly longer than this one. Let's add a p as well, and I am going to say blue text simply. And let's change that to select class.html as well. And now we are going to create classes for both of them. Let's go to CSS style. We are going to add dot to target a class. I am going to say text-blue, color blue, and then bg-red, background color red. Note that it's almost similar to ID selectors. The only difference is that we are using dot instead of hashes, and then that we can specified multiple classes by separating them by spaces. Let me explain that in a minute. As you can see, no difference can be seen here because we haven't added any classes on the elements yet. We are now going to add the classes. Let's go class equals to text dash blue, save, and our div is now colored blue. Let's also add this class. We are simply going to put a space between them both and then type the second class as well, which is bg-red. And once I save, this div is given a blue text and red background. Similarly, in our p tag, we can simply add text-blue to add a blue text. And simple as that, we have created two classes that we can reuse to control the colors on our screen. So that's it. Those are two different types of characters that we can use to design our web pages. Now for the assignment, I have a very simple web page that you can create. You need to create this web page by using internal CSS. You can use class and ID selectors. It's pretty simple overall. You simply need to use color and background color. This is an H1. You would need to use a few p tags. You would also need an H2, and that's it. There is not much content. You simply need to use I suppose 6 to 7 tags at most, and you need to use ID and class selectors to apply the styling. So that's it, and see you in the next lecture.